What up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Q&A where you ask me anything, and this time the questions are from Instagram. And I'm joined with none other than myself, because next time Gio is going to do a Q&A on her own. On to the questions. Trevor661 asks, do your tattoos have any meaning to them? So these two are actually two different tattoos, and this one is inspired by the Polynesian form of tattooing, not the design itself, but just the idea of it. So when I first got into tattoos, I read that in ancient Samoa, what the family tradition would be the head of the household, which is usually the grandpa. They would tattoo the family tree onto the kids that are 17 years old, and that was kind of like a rite of passage, and they would put the family pedigree on their legs, and after they hand tattoo them, they would throw them into the sea to kill all the germs, and that's how you knew when you landed on the island of Samoa who the men were and who the kids were, because all the men had the family pedigree tattooed on their legs. And I was like, dude, that's so fucking dope. How come I don't have a family pedigree? And because I was inspired by that, I wanted to do a Chinese version for myself. Excuse me. So if you look at my tattoo, the back actually has a tiger, and here there's a dragon, and that's because my dad is born in the year of the tiger, and my mom is born in the year of the dragon. And they came together, had lots of sex, and they made me. And my Chinese name is Guan Shu Hong, and Shu Hong means rising sun, which is why there's a sun coming out of the mountains, and the Chinese people are also known as the bamboo people, where actually all Asian people are known as the bamboo people. And so I have bamboo here. And one of the significance of bamboo for Asian people is, one, bamboo is very, very strong, but it's still flexible. It doesn't snap like wood. And that also shows that as strong as bamboo gets, when it does get huge, it still bends over and it bows. So it shows humility. So there's actually a lot of metaphors in bamboo, which is why I really, really liked it. Down here, this is the Battle of Thermopylae, which is the historical battle that the movie 300 is based off of, and I just really, really like that fighting spirit where it's against all odds. 300 Spartans went against, I think, 1,000,000 Persians, and they were like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna fight, I'm gonna throw down, this is my country, this is Sparta, what's up? And I'm like, dude, that is dope, and that's the type of mentality that I wanna have. So those are two kind of inspiring things that create the entire story on my left arm. Next question, the time is nigh. If you could go back in time and change one thing about your high school life, what would it be and why? This one's so easy because I think about this all the time. So when I went to high school, I went during a time where it was super gang infested and everything was gay. You know, like soccer was gay, theater was gay, choir was gay, everything was fucking gay. And because of that, everyone wanted to fit in and no one wanted to be gay. They didn't mean homosexual. Gay just meant like it was stupid, or like, why would you even do something like that? And because of that, I think naturally I wanted to be in drama, and I really enjoy singing. And when I used to watch the school plays during the assemblies, I'm like, man, that's so dope. I want to be in Wizard of Oz. But because it was such a machismo era, I didn't want to be gay and be like the Scarecrow. But now when I think back, I'm like, why the fuck does that even matter? Why do I have to let other people dictate what I want? What I should have done was just have more security in myself, have more self-confidence and self-esteem. Be like, you know what? I don't give a fuck what the fuck you guys think. I'm gonna be in the motherfucking play and I'm gonna sing. So if I can go back in time in high school, that's what I would have done. Took out all this stigma or stereotype of whatever and just did what my heart desired and not worried about what other people thought. Daniel Cantu asks, would you like for your children to follow the same career you guys did? Thanks. Peace, peace. Honestly, I thought about this a lot, and I think as parents, you always kind of wish that your children follow what you do because it's easier to teach them, it's easier to guide them, and you could pass on a lot of valuable insight about your career. But I don't want to make the same mistake that my parents did, which was my parents put on the goals that they want on me and didn't really give me the freedom to choose what I want to do. And because of that, there was like a very rebellious phase in my life, and I don't want to have that. So what I'm going to try to do, I feel like the responsibility of a parent is to kind of put forth all the variety of interests that are available to the child, let them pick and see which ones that they want to do, and you just kind of nurture the tree, because you never know. You might have an artistic kid, you might have a academically inclined kid, you might have a business kid, and I think it's wrong for the parent to kind of put expectations on the kid of what they want, and they should let the kid be who they want. If the kid wants to be a swimmer or he wants to be a football player, it's up to the kid, and you just nurture it, and that's hopefully what I do. Garrick Quick asks, how far do you have to be pushed to fight? I guess he means fist fight. See, this is tough. So back in high school, I used to fight, especially junior year, I probably fought 2 or 3 times a day. And I went to a boarding school that was a military school, so we were together 24 hours, and there'd be secret fights in the showers, secret fights in the room, secret fights in the locker room. It was like a super masculine, like dick measuring contest type of school. So people threw down all the time, and I got into a lot of fights as a kid. And my love for fighting, it just kept growing from there. So even in college when I went clubbing, I got into a lot of stupid club fights. And then I got into MMA. Like, I just enjoy fight culture and the sport of fighting. Not so much even like for being an idiot or a douchebag, but I just really enjoy fighting, like the sport of combat, right? And so now I still love it, which is why I watch a lot of MMA, but I don't practice it anymore. And so I think for most people, they view fighting as like a violent barbarian or they're a douchebag, but there's also the third part, which is a sport. So the sport part I agree with. I think violence now, as a mature adult, I think violence doesn't solve anything. So nowadays, I probably would not fight for any reason. Like if someone wanted to step to me, I'd be like, you know what, I'm sorry, like my bad, I'm sorry for wronging you. And I have no problem backing away, apologizing, lowering myself to kind of de-escalate the situation. I think the only time I would fight is if my anger got the best of me and I lose self-control. And usually that would probably happen if my loved ones got hurt, or if I saw someone that was vulnerable get picked on or something. I think that might anger me. But other than that, for myself, it's really hard to anger me to the point where I want to fight someone, because I feel like it doesn't solve anything, and I'm just not that type of person anymore. But I really enjoy the sport of fighting. So if I was ever in an MMA gym and someone wanted to spar, I'm always down to spar at any time. But I don't fight for stupid reasons like I did before. Next question. Dan Shin FTW for the win. What is Pa Bear and Ma Bear's favorite memory shared together? Aw, you thought it was gonna be Pa Bear and Ma Bear together, but it's just Pa Bear. And what is Pa Bear's favorite memory with Ma Bear? You probably have to ask this question again when it's just Gio. My favorite memory. You know, we've been together for so long, for 8+ years. There's just so many memories, and a lot of them, they're really clustered together. But I think one of my favorite memories is I think my favorite memory actually happens to me and Gio every single Sunday when we're able to sleep in a little bit and we get to watch TV in bed. Like, we're so busy Monday through Saturday and doing the hustle and bustle. She's in her meetings, I'm in my meetings. Even though we're in the same office building, we don't really hang out that much. When Sunday comes around, it's kind of like everything gets to go into slow motion, and we get to just slow down and relax and really enjoy each other's company as a couple. And not so much, what do you want to do with Barbell Brigade Apparel? What do you want to do with Barbell Brigade, whatever? We want to do the Fit Expo? What should we do for JK News? There's like so much, a lot of me and Gio's relationship consists of business talk. And so when Sunday comes around, we finally get to slow down and kind of just get to enjoy a movie together, or get to talk about something together, or go eat and not have to worry about work. That's like one of my favorite memories that I get to be able to do with Gio. Jai Bale asks, what's one thing you guys are individually still trying to work on and improve? Is it taking longer than you thought? One of the things we're trying to improve on, to be completely honest, and I hope I don't hurt anyone's feelings, is JK News. Me, Joe, and David, we realized that we have such a non-bitch mentality that this generation is full of really sensitive people. And so we realize when we hear ourselves, we're starting to sound like the old grandparents are like, back in my day, we used to chop down the trees ourselves to build fires, and now you guys have heaters, you pussies. We realize that's what we start to sound like. So we're trying to be more sensitive to the thought of the current generation and not be so like, well, I used to fucking piss in a bowl. Why do you guys need a bathroom? Next up, Vithusha K. Hey, if you could do one crazy activity, for instance, skydiving, what would you do? Damn, I'm not an adrenaline junkie, but I guess if I could choose one crazy activity, I would like to be in one of those suits and attacked by an animal. But I have to make sure that I can't get hurt. But I would love to see like what it feels like to get attacked by like a wild gorilla or something. I think that'd be so fucking cool. Supreme Dolphins, if Gio was a man with the same personality, would you date them? Well, I guess if I was gay, I would. But I actually had this talk with Gio before, and I actually love her so much as a person that if she came out to me now and she was like, hey Bart, you know what? I actually used to be a man and then I went through an operation and I'm a transgender woman now, I would still stick with her because I love her as a person, and because of that, it doesn't matter if she's a man or a woman, I love her for who she is. So, Johnny Lee 6, can you explain why you and Joe split up? Wait, what? We didn't split up? Can you, I'm gonna read this one more time, maybe I'm not understanding it. Can you explain why you and Joe split up and your ownership of JKF, is it still 50-50? Oh, I see what you're saying. So me and Joe, we didn't split up company-wise, we split up duties-wise. Joe and Michael are focusing on the business end of JK and also the channels and the digital end. Me and Casey are worrying about the feature films and the show end. So we didn't split up the company, and we still own the company 50-50 because that's how it started, but we did split up the duties so that we can attack them harder and focus on them harder and push them at the same time. I don't even know how to pronounce this. Are your babies going to be bilingual? They're probably going to be trilingual, but very minimally, because my Chinese sucks, Gio's Spanish sucks, and they're probably gonna speak English, so they're probably gonna get a little bit of dose of Chinese, a little bit of dose of Spanish, and good at English, I hope. Trueville asks, bro, Bart, your babies are gonna be trilingual. Are you going to guide your kids to be doctors and shit? Thank you for telling me that my babies are gonna be trilingual. I hope they are. And I don't really care if he wants to be a doctor. If my kid wants to be a doctor, he's gonna be a doctor. Ricky Rucco 21, having Nadeem as a roommate taught you guys anything? Yes, a lot actually. So Nadeem, in my eyes, because I'm older than him and he's also behind the camera, but Nadeem is, I can compare Nadeem to when I was his age a lot, and I do that a lot. Because there's so many times where Nadeem really impresses me, and I'm like, man, this guy is so mature, he's so driven, so ambitious, and I'm just like, why was I such a fucking loser when I was his age? And I'm like, dude, this is awesome. But there are also times where Nadeem is completely his age, and I'm like, oh, you know, Nadeem, you had me fooled. I thought you were 45, but you are 12. And those times, those are the times that make Nadeem human and make me love him a lot. Because there's times where like me and Gio, we buy a fuck ton of ice cream, we put it in the freezer, and then like a month later, I'm like, oh, I haven't ate that ice cream yet. And I go in there and everything's gone. I'm like, what the fuck? Where the fuck did all the ice cream go? And I'm like, Nadeem, you fucking ice cream monster. Ken Combo, when can you consider yourself a powerlifter? I think you can consider yourself a powerlifter as soon as you make squat, bench, and deadlift a priority in your training. And you're training those three for the movement specifically rather than growing the muscles. So if you're squatting to get bigger quads, if you're squatting to get bigger butt cheeks or hamstrings, and that's your sole purpose and number one goal, then you're probably a bodybuilder. But if you're squatting so that you can have a strong squat, then that's more of a powerlifter's mindset, and you'd be a powerlifter. Nadim Hamidi, why are you so lame? I don't know why, Nadim. I try not to be lame, but I guess sometimes I am. Avita Cakes, what are some of your pet peeves? My pet peeves are, I think one of my pet peeves are people that get pissed off easily for no big reason. Like, for example, like I'll be driving like in traffic, and everyone hates traffic, right? And then you see someone like go in a lane and accidentally cut someone else off. So I'm witnessing the whole thing. They cut them off, even if it was on purpose. Like, is there a point to have a honk contest? Bam, 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 fuck you, motherfucker. Fuck you, you fucking piece of shit. Fuck you, I hope your whole family dies. I'm just like driving like, dude, was that fucking worth it? Because, okay, if he cuts you off and you're that pissed, what happens when that person, like, I don't know, fucks your daughter or something, or takes a shit on your front lawn? Then are you gonna like buy freaking a bazooka from the black market and go to his house and fucking nuke his house? Like, I feel like people, they jump to anger so fucking fast that it doesn't make any logical sense, because there's no more room for you to go if something real happens. So I'm like, dude, just chill the fuck out. That guy probably had to take a shit and he accidentally cut you off. So it actually makes me angry when I see other people get angry really fast. Oh, and I guess that was it. So thank you for watching this episode of Ask Me Anything, Instagram Q&A edition. Next time, stay tuned on Gio's IG, because she's gonna post one of those posts on IG asking you to ask her some questions in the comments, and she's gonna do a video. See you guys next time. Peace.